Hello, everyone. Welcome to Headmaster's Homeroom. I am Lady Hamilton, and it's Saturday night. I'm so glad everybody is joining us for this wonderful show today. Thank you, and hello to everyone out there. I hope your Saturday is wonderful. Let's start by saying hello to our wonderful guests and viewers. Hello, everybody on Rumble. It's so great to have you guys here with us tonight. Hello, everybody on X as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Pills. Hit those memes, hit those buttons. And hello to everybody on YouTube. We're so excited to have everybody joining us on this evening. Do me a favor, everybody, hit those buttons. Please hit those likes, shares, subscribes, rants, cash apps, pills, and more. Thank you guys so much for not only being here, but all the support you guys give me in all your ways. I am forever grateful. But yes, thank you, thank you. Let's celebrate tonight. It's going to be a fantastic night. I hope you guys are all excited, and I hope you guys have your questions ready. So exciting. So tonight, everybody, it is an amazing interview of me, Lady H. We're going to be joined here in just a second by my great friend. We know him as Frosty, but Craig Misenti is joining us here momentarily. He is going to step into the host chair to interview me tonight. We're going to reflect on a 4-year journey of building an international community centered on creativity, encouragement, faith, and meaningful conversation from the show's humble beginnings as it continues to grow. Thank you, everyone. We're going to explore the vision behind my imaginations, my thoughts, my journeys, my memorable moments, maybe. Even we'll talk about some of my favorite guests and more, especially about Artist Corner. That is actually my baby. So you guys, please do me a favor and welcome my good friend, Craig, to the stage. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Thank you,
How are you
Lady Hamilton, for the warm welcome and the opportunity to be here tonight. I'm thrilled.
Oh, I am so exciting. I'm so excited. Everybody is saying hello, so we're just going to share that. It's easier for me to share those chats. There we go. Look at that. Excuse me, guys. Everybody joining the group. Look at that. They're all saying hello to you.
Hello.
Isn't
It's
that
good to see
awesome?
you all, as always.
Right? We love you guys, and thank you so much for saying hello to our wonderful friend tonight. That is awesome. All right. So we are talking, I guess, about my journey. I know you probably have some questions, and I know the audience may have some questions. I'll keep my eyes out for those. Make sure you put those in the chats so that we will have those ready. But I'm going to leave this up to you. So take it over, my friend.
Well, thanks. I'm not a professional broadcaster, but I got lots of questions. So I guess that's a good thing. And I know I've heard your personal journey with Headmaster's Homeroom, your podcasting, but for those who are new or haven't heard, what was the inspiration? And I guess I know you had a lot of encouragement or calling, even, but can you rehash that for those who may have not heard that story?
Yeah, that's a great one to start. And I've mentioned it probably a different time. It's kind of hard for me to put you guys' chats up here and answer questions. So I will get your guys' comments. But so yeah, I didn't want to do a podcast. It wasn't even anything it was on my mind at all. I mean, I was just healing from almost dying, And so as my wonderful husband started to detox my body and God found me this wonderful place to live, which I have my locals, and I'm serious when I say to them all the time. I tell my good friend, I'm like, you're literally saving my life, But as I'm healing, I kept getting this inspiration. You got to tell others. You got to tell others. This is well before the Maha movement, right? I'm like, tell others, yes, about clean eating and clean foods and your journey and how whatever. And I'm like, you guys have. I don't know if you've seen it. We can pull that definitely up. But, I was very insecure too. It's probably the most bloated. Well, it wasn't the most bloated I've been. I'd already had lost a lot of the inflammation, but I was way worse, double of what I look like on one, but I was self-conscious, and I got a lot of slack in the very beginning too, especially with health, because people are like, we're taking, advice from this lady who's all fat and bloated and whatever. Right. But I didn't want to do this. And I kept telling God, no, because I wasn't sure of myself, not realizing that he had a plan or a pathway for me to help others through my journey, right? So I ignored him. I mean, we're talking months of ignoring him when he finally started to bug Patrick. And Patrick comes up to one day and he goes, I really think God wants you to do this podcast. what do you mean? Like, I'm like, where did that come from? And he's like, I'm getting this inspiration that you need to go do this. And I go, what am I going to talk about? Who's going to want to listen to me? And he's like, well, make it fun. You can have a show about God and food and healing. You can have your artist corner, ask them if they want to come on and do art nights and so forth. Or you can talk about the news and things like that. I'm like, who wants to listen to me talk about the news and health? And at first, yeah, in the chats, I got some slack, especially when it came to the health one. I mean, that's why I often show you guys a beginning episode, because I'm like, if you don't believe what I'm saying, look at episode, 40 or, because before this, I was actually on a different broadcast. And how that happened is I was out there promoting Hamilton Liberty Academy. And one of the other podcasters, my good friend Scott from Hawaii, before the Maui fires, he wanted to, he was doing news all the time. And he was like, I want to interview you about your school because you were providing a nationwide online program, right? To do something totally different. So he interviewed me, and I've been on several podcasts for interviews for the school. And after that, he reached out to me. He loved the podcast so much with us. He goes, do you want to do your own? I was like, okay, I think God is talking to everybody. So like for the first 50 episodes, I was with him until the Maui fires. And then he had to like shut it down because his whole life was just ruined at that time.
Well, think back to your vision for your show when you started, and does it match where it is today?
Well, it's changed a lot. I started to do, I was really doing the news all the time, and I've had some amazing people on, like Greg Phillips on. I've had many doctors on. I've had Edward Dowd on. I've had a multitude of different people. And what was kind of sad is I just felt like, especially in that first or second year or so, it was starting to really kind of tear me down. Because I'm like, I'm just promoting more fear out there of, oh my gosh, look at this, and oh my gosh, this. And I'm not saying that the articles or interviews were wrong. They're absolutely right on. But I was starting to get really, really down, going, okay, I don't want to be the doom and gloom lady. You guys can go and get your news from every other place in the world, and I still do that. And I talk about some headlines, but little bit by little bit, I started adding in more and more happiness, more and more good. And like, where are all the good stories? We don't see those on news stations. We don't see those from any other podcasters. It's like, where are all the good stories? And in this last year, I have really changed that to really try to bring more of the light out there, even though I might talk about, still talk about Maha on Thursday and that movement forward, good, bad, or indifferent. And then I show headlines on Mondays. But what am I leaving you with? Am I leaving you with this kind of, oh my gosh, life is horrible. Everybody's praying for the Savior to come, which is a great thing. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love the Savior. I'm excited for him to come. I'm not sure I want to be here during that moment, but you know what I mean? I just didn't want everybody leaving like I felt, going, oh my gosh, I'm so depressed. And, just so much, because a lot of it is, like fear porn and click, and it's just, other people can do that. So little by little, I started weaning away from that. So it's changed a lot. The art nights have not. Sundays, really, believe it or not, used to be Sunday mornings, but that really hasn't changed. I've talked a lot about God ever since I started on here, because he's the reason for the whole pathway, and bringing wonderful, prayers and scriptures and music. And then I would do cooking then too. So sometimes I do that as well too. And then bringing you beautiful scriptures. So the only thing that's really changed is my news nights the most.
Do you remember your first broadcast the day of? An hour before, 5 minutes before?
I have to look that up. I don't remember the exact date of that. And I was probably all nervous as heck. And that was on a different broadcast. And because, at first you got no viewers, nobody really in the chats. I think Leonis was always with me. Thank you, Leonis. And then JJ started showing up at 16 and Try and so forth. So they've been with me since the beginning. But that's because of my connections and friends, with the littermates and so forth. But I'm over here talking to dead air. And a lot of times that's really hard to do. You're like, okay. But the headmaster comes out in me, and like, because I was teaching my school via Zoom, even though I had live bodies, you just kind of go into a headmaster mode, hence Headmaster's Homeroom. What am I going to teach you today?
Well, how did your background in art influence the podcast?
In so many ways. Okay, so art has always influenced my life. So much. I mean, I just grew up in my mom was very creative, so we were always doing something with arts or cooking or something. And she'd always have these kind of events, and she'd make all kinds of, parties and things like that for the church and so forth. So that was part of my life. And then becoming a chef, I started out, believe it or not, as a pastry chef, everyone. So decorating plates and making, sculptures and doing all kinds of things was a huge part of my life. And then with the children, watching them go from their ugly, 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 horrific past and giving them the world of art into their lives, whether I'm like, you can sculpt something, you can paint something, you write something, you can do whatever. So art has always been a part of my life. So why not have this? And so I started in my college degrees late in life, guys. And I started going for arts because the thing with my children was so extensive. I don't think you guys can even imagine. I had to literally bleach everything down in my house, like every day. The kids even had to take bleach baths every 3 days. I mean, it was like sterile beyond belief, because they couldn't fight off any germs, and they also had this real rare illness. So my husband was going to nursing school. So I started going to some art classes just to kind of give me a breakaway give me a breakaway. And so it's always been in part of my life. And next thing you know, I'm going to school and I'm getting awards and I'm winning, and I'm becoming valedictorian. I'm winning all these awards, and it's for art. And then it led into different projects. Like when I was in Tucson at the U of A, I started this program called Servicio. And it was literally getting these kids a pathway through art. I mean, art integration is unbelievably powerful. And we go create amazing things in the community and so forth, right? But we would also paint and sculpt and stuff on the weekends, and the libraries would put up their work, and it was just so much fun. So art has been a huge part of my life. So when I started, believe it or not, I believe I started Artist Corner before I started the show, because I wanted to just always see something beautiful. And maybe I started the show before Artist Corner, but roughly about the same time. But I wanted to see something beautiful. I wanted to put out beauty in the world. There's just so much news, and that's great. I'm not trying to say no, but where's all the beauty? And there's so much talent that God has given us, right? So I started the group, and I wanted to say, hey, let's look at this beautiful talent. Look at this artist. Let's look at this artist and highlight artists out there and just spread it out on social media to give it, what do you guys call it, a timeline cleanse? And so that was a huge part of going. And then my husband going, well, why don't you have your artist buddies come on the show and start highlighting them? So there we go. And that part hasn't really changed. In fact, even about everybody saying, oh, I'm too nervous to come on and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, it's really just chatting with me, as I'm geeking out on your work.
Right. Over the 4 years, what's been some of the biggest surprises or unexpected blessings that you've received? I know there must be many. Any stand out?
Okay. Unexpected surprises. I'll be honest about this one. When someone doesn't show up, I have learned that I better have a backup plan. And it's not happened a lot, but that it's been some of probably the biggest surprises, good, bad, or indifferent, that I'm like, okay, I need to be prepared with backup plans for these kind of things. What do you do? Right. And some just have not showed up for whatever reason. Some have internet issues, some have, whatever. But that's kind of the biggest surprise I think I've learned along the way, because I didn't. I'm just like, let's go with the flow, right? Okay, well, I guess we'll just sit here and talk or cancel. Biggest blessings, probably all the people I've met, to be honest with you. I mean, there are so many people that I can't even list, from musicians. I mean, I've met some of the most amazing jazz musicians in the world. I have met some of the most, and blessed with some of the best artists I think ever exists, and that's you guys. And then, of course, like I said, I have had some amazing people on the show. Dr. Stella, right? Greg Phillips, Ed Dowd, so many great, amazing patriots that have come on as well, too. That I never thought in a million years I would have ever met. But that's probably a lot from going to see Bernie Flowers, meeting him at a CPAC and having him come on so many times, right? I mean, just so many great people that have changed my life. And those are always truly blessings. But then the fact that I'm still going, I don't have thousands of followers. I don't have, tons of sponsors, but yet every single day my viewers show up and it's turned into a community. And I always thought that God sends these people to me. And I've heard that so many times from the viewers, right? Like, oh, I was just inspired to find you, or God sent me your way. And I'm like, really? God, I get such a kick out of that. I'm like, God is talking about me. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when somebody says, I thought of you, or I was inspired to think of you, or God was talking to me about you, and it just gets me so tickled because I'm like, God is speaking about me to somebody else. Don't you just smile when that stuff happens? So little by little, all these all these wonderful people have come to my channel. And so I don't need to be the biggest. I just need to, I keep hearing the word community, build a community, spread the light, be the light. And here we are, right? Continuing to do that and growing by the day. So,
Can
oh,
can you pinpoint any key moments or turning points that helped the podcast grow in our community?
in the art community,
Yeah, or just in general with the podcast or artist corner.
um, I think you guys seeing each other come on the show and seeing your faces and hearing you guys talk inspired others to want to do the same, because they're like, oh wait, this is really cool because um you're miscellaneous without a face. Oh, I know this person by their artwork, right?
Right.
Um and you don't know who they are, and you don't know about them. You don't know about their journeys, what got them to even start painting or creating. So I think that has been a real big turning point for the group, because you're like, now you put that face with that work, and you've built friendships, and you're in there with the comments talking to, instead of saying, we'll say, hey, Frosty, I know some of you that call you Craig in the comments, right? Because they see you online. And the
Right.
same goes with so many others, right? You become really amazing friends. And that's what I really wanted the community to be, was a community of love and friendship.
I think you've achieved that. I know that we are growing on other platforms, and I think that the way that it's built and the quality of people, I think is no matter what size, is to be commended. How has hosting or your own artwork changed the way that you might host?
Hosting my own artwork.
Well, just hosting the podcast, how has your own artwork and your journey in your own artwork kind of formed how you, uh,
It has brought it to a slow, dead hole.
yeah,
No offense. Because I'm so busy that to find the time and desire to create my own artwork is like a minimum. I mean, you guys are kicking them out left and right. I might be doing one or two a year now, versus when I was in school, I was kicking out several within a semester. I would still be working on a statement piece, but I'd also be doing all these drawings and sketchings and side projects as well with my classes. That's all done. So I have to like force myself to find time, or force myself to get into the mood to even paint. But surprisingly, my desire to create has almost come to a screeching halt. So sorry, guys, you have not done that to me. Don't take that as a bad thing, you know. But I'm so busy promoting you guys that, yeah, that has definitely affected me doing it. But every once in a while, I kick out some. I mean, I was really surprised. I was going to bring that behind me with the last one I did with the flag. I did that in one day. I was like, wow. I'm like, oh, I really wanted to do something for our 250th celebration. So I just got up and I'm like, I'm getting to it. So I guess there's time.
well, what advice would you give personally to artists who, even self-taught artists, uh, to encourage them to share their work or to actually be highlighted on a podcast? I know the challenges it is to book people, um, nerves, whatever. What do you do? So, what do you say to artists to encourage them to come on and to share their artwork?
Well, lately I've been tagging like you or Nancy or something in there so that you guys can, I think testimonials, like I don't know if you saw what Fred did, but when I do my Be the Guest, he quoted that and shared his experience. I wish more would do that, because he's like, you guys, he encouraged others. Please come on. It was a blast. I had a great time. Lady H is awesome. And I wish more people would actually do that because, or I have to tag you guys because they're like, oh, I'm too shy, or, oh, I don't, I might be, my face might not be great, or whatever, I'm sick, or I mean, and I'm not trying to say that you guys aren't, but shy should never be it because I've had people on here that don't even show their faces, and I don't care if you show your faces. We just want to sit there and geek out on your work because you're that talented, right?
Right.
And I think once they come on, like Jerry last night, I mean, he's hooked. He's already booked for a few more months down the road now. He's hooked, right? Because he sees what you guys say about his work, I mean, versus just me. And seeing that in the comments, like, oh my gosh, that's really awesome. And look at the color, look at this, look at that, it goes, wait a minute, maybe I am okay. Maybe I'm not as bad as, because we're so bad on ourselves, right? That is so great to hear and see the comments of what other people say.
It is. It's always fun to see somebody that's hesitant to come on and the reaction after because they all love it. They love the experience. I know personally, I was kind of like that. I'm like, I was going to do it, but I was a little nervous. And then after, I'm like, well, that was really easy, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Right.
It is really hard. I know personally, trying to help book guests. Everybody's interested, or they tell you. What have been some of the biggest challenges in the podcast in over 4 years? I know you stay pretty well booked up, but you have an 5 nights a week is a pretty full schedule with so many
Yeah.
different topics. What are
Right.
some of those? What are some of those difficulties in any way that we all can help?
Well, I don't think people, first of all, realize this is a full-time job for me. I mean, by the time I'm promoting the artist of the day, and it's even more than that, sharing out your guys' artwork, all the comments, and it may be brief. I might say awesome, beautiful work or whatever, but I am replying to 50 of you a day, right? And that's on all social media platforms, right? So, and sharing you out. That, and then the good mornings and the whatever, right? That's just blown through the roof. I'm like, okay, this is taking a long time. But then I go into planning my shows. What's Thursday going to be? What's Monday going to be? And putting those all in the right orders and then getting the guests and stuff. And yeah, I might be booked up right now for a few months, but I like it that way. There was a time where it's like, I don't know who I'm going to have next week. And just trying to convince anybody and everybody to come on, right? But it is at least a good 40-hour plus a week job, guys. I mean, now you understand why I'm like, support the show, because it is a wonderful service job, but that's exactly what it is. It's a job of service. I don't get paid for this. I don't have sponsors that pay me for this. And then there's expenses that go into the broadcasting and the medias and all this kind of stuff. I've got to pay for the canvases and the StreamYards and X and all these kind of things as well. To broadcast, also. So it is absolutely a service of love, and it's a lot easier now because I am so booked out, and I really feel way more comfortable because if I don't have a guest within like the next few weeks, I start panicking. And I got to troll people. I had to say that I don't do it in a bad way, but I meet new people like X exploding on X, right? Going, oh, hey, I really love your artwork. That doesn't start, hey, want to be my guest? It's introducing myself like, hey, I really love you, or I might highlight them. And oh, it's really great. And just kind of start really talking with them so they know who the heck I am and they know I'm not a troll. And then you'd be like, oh, hey, I have art shows. Come and check it out. Or, hey, if you're ever interested, I would love to have you be my guest. And a lot of them think, too, I'm going to charge them to be my guest, which I don't ever charge you guys. Right. So they're like, oh, like Matt Starr. He was like, I'll take the free opportunity for free marketing and jumped right on it. Right. So, that's another thing, too. But then I have to go through the month or two of whatever. I'm shy on whatever, And after they get highlighted a few times, they're like, wait a minute, this lady really does love to highlight artists. And then we get them on. Or now I got repeat customers, that want to come back on because they had such a good time.
Well, how has your faith guided you through some of the obstacles of creating and managing the art Artist Corner and the podcast?
Boy, there's ups and downs for that, right? Um, well, so I don't know if you want to talk about downs, but the group in itself, that you guys may not see it, and that's a good thing. I'm really glad you don't see it, because the negative comments I've seen people do, and I've had to ask them and remove them. I mean, Truth's got the group set up amazingly in some aspects, right? I can delete your comments. I can delete, I can delete you. I can block you. And to see people be that way is very hurtful, because that's the last thing I ever want to do. I mean, I don't want to ever have to do that. But, I mean, also I have to stay consistent with like rules and with whatever, and to make sure that people are just an understanding. And I've even been told, what do you think, that you're the Met Gallery? I said, not yet. But that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a gallery and a community. And we talked about this last night with Jerry. If you got nothing nice to say, keep scrolling. The resistance for the prayer thing every night. I mean, that one hurts a lot too, because you guys, I asked Mando to come in and put the prayer request in it, because I saw so many people pull it on like 3-page things, no offense, but I got a prayer, or this is wrong with me, and that's happening with me. And I'm like, so many people need prayer, and I believe fully in prayer and have faith that God's going to answer those one way, or whether we like it or not. Sometimes we don't like his answers. But why not have the prayer warriors pray for you? And to watch so many people that were in the group literally hate on the prayer, you think, you're like, what? So that kind of is like, well, you do you, but you're not gonna be in here full of that. Sorry. I mean, and downvotes on the prayer request, seriously, no, you're out. Sorry, you gotta go, because I don't want that environment in there. So that's kind of been hard, and I don't ever want to have to be that. But that hat I wear gets me so much hate. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't ever have those problems on X, knock on wood. So it's a whole different world. Right? I don't have to sit there and tell people, look at the rules, and be that. They just come and they post their art, and they go and they interact. And as of yet, it's just kind of been a totally different thing. But my face, a lot of times, is shaken. Oh, I don't have that many views, or oh, I didn't have enough, rants, or people sponsor me, that I have to talk to the husband who's paying for this whole show, right?
Right.
And he has told me several times, well, I don't think really people are liking this. Maybe you should give up. And I have to literally go to prayer and say, okay, God, you gave me this pathway. You bugged me to have this show. Is it time to hang it up? I stopped doing the news. I lost a whole bunch of followers and viewers for that, because I wanted to be the light. And I'm like, okay, God, I just don't want to be doom and gloom all the time. And I just got a whole bunch of followers I lost and views. And so I've had to pay for that. And I've had to keep going to God, going, okay, you tell me, what do I do? What do I do? I mean, it's do I keep going? And then boom, I mean, it starts building back up slowly with more of the right people. And exactly, Hockey, I don't know what's going on with Truth Social, but it's exactly where I've encountered so much hate. I don't know what's going on over there either. But I often go to prayer. In fact, I pray before every single show. I don't know if many people know that. A prayer of gratitude, because again, I didn't want to do the shows. I didn't want to be a podcaster. So God put this in my heart, put this in my husband's heart, put this pathway before me. So I go in gratitude prayer every night. And I always start with first 2 things is thank you for our connection, right? I'm glad to be a child of God, and thank you for the Savior. And then I'm like, okay, let me just have the right words, especially on Sundays, if I'm talking about a scripture or whatever. He inspires the videos and the scriptures that I share with you, because I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say. And the next thing I know, I'm looking at something will pop up. Okay. And I write it down. I mean, that's how connected I feel, and how much a part of his, my life is with the Father, right? Because I'm like, this is your path. I just don't want to mess it up. And I think that was part of the reason I started going more and more towards light, because I think that was also part of it as well too, is because when you're in that dark world, even if it's real news, right? I mean, you're like child trafficking, for instance. I talk about the children all the time. I can't do that all the time anymore. I know it's a problem. I'm still a fighter, but it's so overwhelming that what do? You just want to curl up and just die, because I'm like, God, why are you not striking everybody down? Right. And how do you deal with that? You have to just understand that, you got to have faith that he's going to have it handled. And I'm just going to do my part. So I'd still talk about it, but maybe not all the time, right? The same thing like with the news. I started doing stories of humanity and fun, especially on the end of Monday night, so that's the last night of my week. So what am I going to leave you with? Everybody going, oh my God, that was so horrible. We're doomed, right? Which we might be. I don't know, guys, right? The Lord's coming one way or another. At the end of this story, the Lord's coming, right? But I don't want to be responsible for leaving you with like, I can't sleep because that news is so scary. So we have to have some stories of humanity and light.
Well, going back to your point about the artist corner, I know myself, I've seen it. I've seen the struggles you've had to do as far as maintaining the rules, but there's also a lot of competition in our groups and social media, and they're not all the same.
Right.
I think that the ones that are here like what we have here, and that comes from the rules of posting. Maybe we have new artists that are used to other groups, or they don't know it. Can you go through the rules and the guidelines?
Yeah, I actually have that pulled up because that's one thing I wanted to talk about. First of all, most people join groups and they don't even read the rules, and then they're like clueless. So first of all, everybody, I'm a stickler on reading. If you guys don't know that, I mean, I even have this here. Read today, bring that brain power to great heights. Because literacy is so important to me. I mean, we've talked about this so much about how we're losing our literacy. So please, when you join a group, you might want to read the rules. And it's funny because after we had the turmoil, and I'm going to talk to everybody about you in particular in a minute here. But after the turmoil, it's amazing how many of the other groups have the same rules, and how new groups have the same rules. Now, whether you keep those rules or mandate those rules, that's on your group. But I'm a stickler of my rules, guys. I'm a headmaster. So when I write rules, I mean rules. And I got a lot of slack over the rules, or people don't understand the rules. So I'm glad. Let's talk about these real quick. So I pulled these up, everybody. These are pinned to both my groups on Truth Social. Actually, all groups on Truth on X and on Pilled. These are all pinned to the group. Whether you guys read them or not, that's on you. But don't be surprised when something gets said, because the rules are in place. So I get a lot of crap about AI, right? Because even when I do my promotions, a lot of times I do use an AI things, or my daily prompts. I might use an AI image. And so people are like, I thought you hate AI. I am not a huge fan of AI in a lot of aspects. What I'm not a fan of, and what it says here, is no AI artwork. And a lot of people would make AI art or music or whatever and then claim that it's theirs. Oh, I did everything myself. And that's what I mean about AI. And so when we say no AI art, it's don't come in here with some AI piece of work and say, I painted this. It took me weeks and weeks to create this. Look at how pretty this is. Because, both of you and I check. If you guys think it's just me, I'm having Frosty left and right help me pick out images of the artist of the day. Or is this AI? Or is this not AI? And we have ways that will tell us if it's AI. Okay. And I will not highlight that piece of work if it's AI, which is something I check every single day before I even post your work as artist of the day. So I don't have a problem with people using AI. Hey, go create your videos, go create your good mornings, go create your whatever. But don't come into my group saying you spent weeks and weeks and weeks on this piece and it's AI. That's the difference. Okay. And I'm not checking your post. I will only check when it's the artist of the day per se. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, share your work properly. I mean, that's not a big stickler with me, but people ask all the time, hey, what size is this? What medium is this? I got questions so many times. That's not for me. That's because other people in the group want to know what medium, what size, because images have, they're really hard to even see, like celestial sailing. Bob always tells me that painting looks like it could be a 36 by 48, and it's the smallest one I've ever done. Right. So, and then a short comment. I mean, it could be a paragraph or whatever. It's just, we don't want a 3-page thing because people don't read it. I'm telling you, they don't read it. So you might as well just keep it short and simple and tell us a little bit about your piece. Keep it like a paragraph because people don't read. Please read, guys, but people don't read. This one's really, really big. No quoting or re-quoting others' work. What does that mean? You guys might not know this. Especially on X, it's totally different than it is on Truth. So this is mainly for Truth Social. When you re-quote somebody else's artwork, the artist gets notified you re-quote it, but they never see what's in the comments. You have now stolen that artwork, and the comments go to you because you re-quoted that. The artist will never see those comments because you re-quoted that. And that's a pet peeve of mine. And we've had somebody kicked out of the group, and everybody didn't even know that they were re-quoting all of our work on their own profile, and none of us knew it. None of us knew it. And so they're getting comments, and they're having discussions, and they're basically, it's a version in my mind of stealing somebody's comments and stealing somebody's artwork, because we want to know what people are saying about our work. We don't want Joe Schmo hearing about our work. We want to get that feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. So when you re-quote somebody's artwork, you're taking away their ability to see the comments. So I'll delete that. I'm like, go put your beautiful comment and compliment in their post. Let them know how wonderful you think their work is in the comment section. So a lot of people probably don't know why I'm such a stickler on that. See, and there you guys go. See, people didn't even know. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. People don't know why I'm such a stickler about that. And I get so much crap about that. And so that's why I'm explaining that. And like I said, especially on Truth, if you are re-quoting somebody's artwork, we don't get to see those comments. You do. And who's the artist? Are you the artist? No, you're not. We're the artist. So please give us the respect of getting and hearing what people are saying about our artwork. The greatest thing you can do is share and add a comment and praise, right? Which brings us to the next one. No ads. I am so tired of, hey, I love that people are selling their stuff, and I don't mind. Every single one of us are selling our stuff. But if it comes in here with a full-on ad, hey, it's July sale and you get 25% off. There's a group for you called Small Business Group, right? Come in here and you can put at the very bottom, hey guys, you go to my link if you're interested in purchasing, and let them comment. Hey, yeah, I'm really interested in that. But if it's a full-on ad or promotion, it's out. No political posts. I had to delete 2 of these yesterday. This is crazy. You guys, I do political art all the time, but I don't let you know my political business. And that's the way it is on all my social medias, because I don't know who's going to buy that. It may be a person from the Democrat side. It may be a person from the Republican side. I don't know, but it's, I just want you to see my art. And Justice is a great example of that. That has been in 17 different exhibitions, right? Mainly by Democrats, mainly by liberals who love that piece. And so I just don't say anything about it and let you take that as interpretation. But it's even more than that. Coming in here and like, oh, let's hang this person and this person, and death to this person, or whatever that political news story is. Or did you hear that, Trump just did that? And that's great, but put that on your own profile. This is an art gallery, and that's the way I want to keep it. Don't steal people's art. This is something I've seen before too, where somebody finds somebody's art from some other group and then tries to claim it as their own. You're like, seriously?
Exactly.
You don't think we all follow each other? That's the funniest thing, is we all follow each other, guys. So, it's just kind of funny, because I'm like, we're going to eventually find out that you've stolen that art. Now it's just kind of funny. So yeah, and most likely, you're going to get kicked out. Don't share posts from other groups. That's so rude. I don't go into other groups and say, hey, look at my artist corner. Hey, come join my artist corner. Hey, whatever, right? To me, that's just totally disrespectful and trashy. So don't share your other groups in here. If you're in another group, great, go have fun in that group. And then when you come in ours, have fun in our group. And I don't mind that you're in other groups of art. If everybody's sharing out art, isn't that the whole point, is getting your artwork seen? But I don't go in there, and I don't, saying, hey, we're the best. Come on over here. No, you guys don't do that. Here's another one. Yes, that's true, Jerry. Jerry, he does politics, but he pretty much keeps it private. I love you, Jerry. no hate or demonic content or negativity. This is what we were talking about at the beginning. And with Hockey even saying that, I've never seen so much hate on, and it's in True Social. I'm sorry, True Social. You people need to do so much better. I mean, downvotes on the prayer. People who have amazing artwork, but they only want to choose to show the demon work in our group. I'm like, I'm sorry. And we're not talking like, good. We're talking some seriously demonic, witchy, nasty, pornography kind of demonic. Out. And then if you're hating on somebody or leaving nasty comments, you're out. I'm sorry, you're out. So, and then here's the last thing about this. Violations result in post removals and possible banning. It says right there. So people always ask me, why'd you remove my post? Read the rules. Read the rules. So there's my little discussion on the rules.
So, most seem like common sense, but yes, definitely read.
Right.
It doesn't take much time, and it will clear a lot of things up for a lot of people.
Right. And they just don't. They come in there and they just go and they post, and a lot of people just post and leave. And I mean, that's okay. That's fine if you want to be that way. We really like interaction, but don't be surprised if you've not read the rules and I've deleted something. I don't give you forewarning a lot of times. Sometimes I will if you're new in the group, but it depends on what it is. If it's something completely demonic, oh no, I just delete it. If it's something straight up political, I mean, I don't even care if it's, Trump with Venezuela, or JD Vance just gave a great talk. I mean, that's awesome, but it's not for an art community, right? I mean, I think it's awesome, but we follow each other, guys. I'm going to see your stuff and I'm probably going to share it and I'm with you. I'm all, yeah, cheers and yay, but not, it's an art gallery. So, and there's so many groups that are all about politics. Go share it there, right? So that's kind of funny. Read the rules. Let's bring literacy back. Read the rules.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Do you have any personal goals for Artist Corner you'd like to see for the next 6 to 12 months?
And it's awesome because Dada, I did see your thing. He says, what are your goals for the show? And that can also go into Artist Corner. We're growing. I mean, I thought that we were going to have a huge hit, right? And, I want to talk about this first. And thank you personally. And I really want to do this on air. We went through an ugly season, guys, and a few had to go. And it took about another, 10 or 11, from the group. And I got some serious ugly. I got some serious hate. I have some serious haters out there, guys. And it's unbelievable the stuff that they've said about me, the lies that they've said about me. And they're like, she did it. I keep all receipts. I keep all DMs. I keep snapshots of, if I've had to kick you out of the group, trust me, I have kept those snapshots of those DMs and those posts. I have kept, if I bought something and you didn't fulfill your end of the bargain, I've kept those emails and those discussions. But I'm not one to broadcast it publicly, but they did. And we end up having to block a whole bunch of people. But you know what, Frosty? Do you guys know that Frosty is the only one that came forward publicly and defended me? The only one. And he has seen all of these DMs and emails and so forth. A lot of you have, but Frosty came forward and defended my honor. And I cannot tell you how much that means to me. This is why they call us brother and sister, guys. This is why they call us the twins, because he stepped up like a true brother did. And he's like, I'm not taking that. You're not going to sit there. I've seen your crap. And I'm not going to let you hurt Lady H like that because, she may not say it, but I'm going to say it. I've seen your crap. And I am so thankful because I really was in tears. It was hard on me. It was really hard on me. And almost to the point of like, I did not want to do anything with Artist Corner again at all. I didn't want to share out artist work. I didn't want to communicate with people. I didn't want to do the artist of the day. I was in a dark space for that moment because the evil that came against me was unbelievable. And you stood up and stood by my side and said, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am to you.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure. I know how much work you put into this. I know all the great people that are in the group. And there's always going to be a few. There will be in the future, but we'll stick together. And when they're not a faithful member doing the things and following the rules, then rest assured you will not be there. But that's what keeps the group great. And I don't think you should have to burden that by yourself when there are others that can definitely, if nothing else, at least support you.
Right. And thank you. And I didn't list them as moderators because they were getting hate too. I mean, they came directly after Frosty, and then they had a day with Nancy because Nancy was just pointing that out too. So, it's like it was unbelievable. But talking about the future moving forward, we have gone and gained 26 new members since then. So God's like, all right. And I saw a meme, and God sometimes answers us in memes. Isn't that funny? And the meme said, God removes people from your life because he heard what they said and you didn't. I was like, wow. And I just like right in this dark point in my life, I saw this meme going on X that says, God removed people from your life because he heard what they said and you didn't. And I'm like, wow. And so little by little, we've got new members joining that are like, where have you guys been our whole lives? Right. I'm like, welcome to Artist Corner. Right. So I'm excited to see it grow and having wonderful new people, it's just so amazing.
And it has. It's grown, and some of the biggest growth has been internationally.
Yes.
And that presents a challenge sometimes by itself, but it opens up if you're there for the art and you love looking at art and different kinds of art. We have some great new artists. Mm-hmm. And it really, I look forward to looking and seeing what's new today. I can't create art every day, but I can look at new art every day.
Right. And doesn't it give you a sense of such beauty? And just put your whole mind in a beautiful mindset at the beginning of the day. I mean, this is one of the reasons too. I don't watch news first thing in the morning too, because I trust me, I'm watching news, guys. I'm into it. I'm seeing things, I'm paying attention. But I'm out there now with the good mornings and the artwork and the whatever, and so my whole day and morning starts out right. And isn't that fun?
It is.
Yeah,
and it encourages you to, when you see somebody's art you really love, it's definitely inspiring. Watching the highlighted shows of all the different artists is, I love all the shows, but Art Night is my favorite. I get to look at what I love, and I get to do that every day in X and Artist Corner. And for anybody that's apprehensive about joining X, I understand that, but the art community is thriving there in Artist Corner, and I would definitely encourage you to at least give it a shot. If it's not something that you like, give it a few days. If it's not something you like, then I understand, but I think you'll be surprised.
And I'm glad you brought that up. X is playing around, guys, and I'm sorry. That's totally my fault because they said they were going to close communities. So I panicked, and I wanted you guys all to tag me and do Artist Corner TS, and that shut down Artist Corner TS. They thought it was a total troll and a stealer, and it basically almost shut it down. I think it's basically coming back to life that I had to do that, but still post it in the communities because you guys, I have a lot of followers, and I'm not trying to brag, but that's what I'm going to see. That's just algorithm. I have nothing to do with that. So guys, please post your work inside the community. And if the community's lost, I'll figure out another way. Frosty and we'll figure out another way. What I used to do with Artist Corner TS is I would go through my follower list and find each single one of you and share out a piece of your work. And that's hard to do with 300 followers, guys. I'm over on my main account, I've almost got like 7,000. So to find you is hard. So for the time being, make sure your work gets inside the community. Or another thing too, I guess a lot of people are doing when I put out the prompt, it's Throwback Thursday, for instance. In the comments, they will put the work. That's another great way for me to see it and share it out. So that's another thing that might have to be the way if we lose communities, that you guys literally put your work in the prompt so I can see it. Just FYI. But for the meantime, the community is there. the art world going on is really nice. And you're talking about an international market, right? That's seeing this stuff. So it's amazing. It's amazing. So I would encourage you to go and join X. And the thing too, guys, is we're all wanting everybody to see our art, right? And so isn't that the point of having different social medias? I mean, if I share it out and there's a possibility of 7,000 people that might see it, Frosty shares it out and he's got several hundred, and Nancy shares it out and she's got several hundred. JJ shares it out, he's got thousands. I mean, how many people might see your artwork if we're all sharing it out and beautifying the media?
It is. And to be fair, there was a lot of misdirection and miscommunication on X's part about communities, and well, we're still there. So keep our fingers crossed that we stay there.
Yeah.
Um, I just always wanted to know, after 4 years of podcasts, is there any special podcasts that mean? I know you are not going to pick favorites, but any that stand out as inspirational or motivational to you?
Yeah, that's right. Um, you guys probably think that's funny. Is there any? Boy, it's kind of hard to say what my most have standed out. Um, I really liked, and I'm going to say the word liked, the time with Nurse Patrick. But man, you guys, that just can't happen anymore. He's so downhearted about it. So enjoy it while it was there. You guys give him some love on social media, mainly on X if you guys want to reach out. But I found that he was really, really trying to help. And it was really awesome to have him by my side because I'm not really an expert when it comes to health. And when I'm telling you that he's got his masters with an S, like I have my masters with an S, man knows what he's talking about. And so it was really, really special to have Patrick by my side to do this stuff, to come and bring you guys. And he hated it. He only did it for me and for you guys. So those stand out as far as that connection. Sometimes, not that they're a better guest, but when the international artists show up and I'm like, it's the middle of the night there, and you're like, you have stopped everything to wake up at 3:00 in the morning to be on my little show. I mean, that's kind of exciting. But I mean, I've got some, like musicians that like, in fact, he's coming back. He goes, I can't come back until the beginning of September because I'm touring with Arturo Sandoval, one of my favorites in life, right? You're like, what? So I'm always surprised by that, or in the moments when I have amazing people come on, like I love it when Dr. Sell, I've got to invite her back on, or, those kind of people that come on too. Cause I'm just like, you are going to spare your time to come on my show. That's so exciting. Right. And that just makes me excited, but I don't know if I have a favorite. I have moments or things that surprise and shock me. Right. But it's all fun because you know how many people I have met? I've met like 600. David Clements. Thank you. Right. Wasn't that awesome? JJ, start getting and working on him coming back. I was so nervous with him and I don't normally get nervous. But I mean, I just admire his work so much that I was just a little nervous. I was like, okay, what am I going to say? And I'm like, oh, I need to come back now that I, like you guys, the first time you're kind of nervous. And so he's so awesome though. And he lost it all to fight for our nation, and so he's a great one. Greg Phillips, another great one, just so many amazing people that have come on. Richard Fleming's another great one. I mean, I could go on and on of great people that I've had on the show. So
if you could have anybody on the podcast, who would it be that you haven't already had?
Are you guys going to go work on that for me? Okay. I would love, and I've met him too. Oh man. Okay. I'm just totally, come on. The artist from New York. He's lost my brain. Come on, Scott Levato. He would be so much fun to have on the show, right? I mean, he'd be awesome. Musician wise, somebody, big like that, like John Rich. Wouldn't that be so cool? I shoot high, guys. Oh, let's see. I have to think about, I mean, Politicians, yeah, okay. Believe it or not, guys, I'm not so like, the politicians. I mean, it would be great to have the president sure come, right? But I know he's a little busy. I'm not shooting quite that high. But as far as those kind of things, yeah, it's like major artists that I love and respect. Having one of my favorites, our master, come on would be awesome. It'd be great to interview Yo-Yo Kusama. She's one of my mentors. I mean, she's like 85 years old. I doubt it. But I got to go after Scott Levato. You guys, if you need the picture, you'd be like, you met Lady H, man. You took a picture with her. You gave her a hug. You were so awesome to her. That would be awesome. Like I said, so. I don't know. I'm always finding really cool new people. Come on. It's amazing.
What about if you could collaborate on an art piece with anybody in the world? Who would that be? And what would it be?
Okay. That would be going after some of my like collaborations. Okay. It would probably be somebody that's what I consider a master or a mentor. It would be awesome to sit down. I mean, with Yo-Yo Kusama. Because I mean, my work at her abstracts and stuff like that, she just really, really has inspired me. And so now you're talking levels. Like, okay, it's like being Matisse's assistant as you're putting up, his stuff on the walls. Right? Just let me sit there in the corner. I don't even know if we want to collaborate. I just want to watch, But I don't know. I have collaborated with a few people already. I did something with Rick. I did the background. He did the finishing with one of his superheroes. It's Doctor Who. I'm trying to think who else have I done, but I don't know. I mean, if you guys ever need an abstract background and you want to do something on the beginning, you could do that with me because I would love to collaborate with any of my artists in the group. But we're all so different, so we would have to think how that would work, right? But that's what makes us also special.
Right. And
that's true. Have RFK Jr. about health, yeah.
That would be fun show.
Right?
Tim Tebow.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I didn't even think about that. I've even tried, how many times I've applied to work for him and I get shot down? You guys, that's another thing. I have gone through the last few months, like 10 different applications. I get shot down every single time. You think God wants me to do something like this?
I'm still working on Tim for a guest.
Are you?
I ain't giving up.
Awesome. That's awesome. He would be awesome. Just to even say thank you, right? For the work that you're doing. And I think that's probably what got me so like choked up with Dr. Clements, because I was like, I'm just so thankful for the work that you've done, right? And that you continue to do. So it's amazing. But yeah. Tim Tebow would be awesome. Nice call, Frosty. You guys know me better than me.
What's the best feedback from listeners? What means the most to you?
Feedback. Your comments, everybody, as I'm trying to grab them. Sorry, everyone. It's hard to be interviewed and grab your comments. Your comments really rock my world. Yeah, I did do the spaces with the Called Me pencils. Thank you. Your feedback, your interaction in the groups, the comments that I get on my artwork, when you guys actually share out my artwork, I'm a little self-conscious about that because I'm not a realist. I don't do, happy little landscapes or perfect little, pet portraits that look like they're photos. It's just not my genre. And so a lot of my artwork doesn't get shared out like other people's, or get that many likes. So it really makes me happy when I see a like or a share or a small little comment. And thank you, Nancy and Frosty, for always commenting on my work.
Well, you do have your little landscapes, though. You do them well. I've seen them.
Well, they're different, though. They're different. They're not anything like yours. Yours are like majestic mountains of heaven.
If I have one person that likes a painting, that was meant for that person. Right. Everybody's got a different taste. And that's why it's important whether you think it's great or not, because I rarely think mine are great, but somebody does. And that's the gift to them.
Right. A lot of my work is not necessarily for the public house. If you want to buy it, great. But they were to tell historical moments and statements that are happening. It's kind of like the news on canvas, right? A great way to trap our history and tell a story without losing our history, because I'm telling you guys, that's changing by the decade. So capture those moments.
Exactly. Favorite art medium?
Oils.
Go
Oils.
go-to camera?
Go-to camera.
Yeah, with your photography.
Oh, I don't have anything but my phone. You guys always tease me about using a flip phone because my iPhone is it's an 8. My iPhone is an 8.
Yeah, you ain't taking pictures with your flip phone, Lady Hamilton.
I am. I am.
You dial
Right?
it.
I do. Every single one comes from, and some of those that I had like from the Grand Canyon and stuff probably came from a flip phone. But no, I don't. My husband bought me a professional camera. I don't even know what kind it is, and there it sits. He's like, "You ever going to use this thing?" I'm like,
no. I've had that same experience. I don't know how to use it. I'm sorry.
And he goes, "You can YouTube it and you find out how." And I'm like, "Okay, you YouTube it and find out how." And so, I do have a camera I use like when I'm out and about, like at a CPAC or stuff, but it's only for like recording small videos with guests while I'm there. That's it. Isn't that funny, you guys? Our phones are so great.
They are. They take great pictures.
I love that. That's amazing.
I'll just wrapping up my questions. I'd encourage anybody got any questions to ask them. I know everybody wants to know something, but how can someone who wants to support the show or the Artist Corner get involved? Even maybe not an artist, or how can they help support you and the show?
Sharing is everything, and that's the same thing all the way around. So when I go into the group and I see and 5 shares are great, but when you have 700 members and 5 shares, come on, guys, let's kick it up. And you may not like the artwork, but share it out because somebody else might like the artwork. And I see, and that's the funny thing is that because I own the groups, I see when you guys share everything. So I know who shares what. And that's the great thing about being the owner of the group is I know exactly who has shared out what. I know who comments. I know who whatever. And it's whether it's on X or whether it's on Truth, is I know who the sharers are. And I know that some of you are picky and they're like, oh, that one's pretty, but maybe the other 5 aren't. Share it all out. Share it all out because we all are trying to find that one person that might like it. We're not asking you to buy it. If you want to buy it, great. But, help us get our work out there and help us to beautify the social media platforms. Another thing, too, is, a comment. It doesn't have to be a full-on whatever. A heart, a smile, whatever, a thumbs up, something, because sharing and comments actually make the algorithm look more than just the likes, especially in private groups. You understand that those groups are private. So unless you share the work out and artists share and like your own work and share and like the other artists' work, because it stays in the private group. Nobody's going to see it if you guys don't share it out because it's stuck inside the private zone. So artists, number 1, like and share your own work. And number 2, go and like and share other people's work as well.
Yeah, I think that's important to note. You may think it's braggadocious to share and like your own work, but like you say, it lifts the community. It gets more eyes on it. And me personally, I find just as much pleasure in sharing and liking other people's work as I do getting the likes and shares. It's just
right?
part of,
Well, excuse me. And I'm going to be a little rude on this aspect. Us moderators, we're not paid to be your promoters or your marketing agent. We do this because we love you. We share your artwork and everybody's artwork because we love you. Please do the same for us. Because again, we're not paid to be your marketing agent. Okay, we do this because again, we love you. So please love us back and be proud to be part of the Artist Corner, right? Just kind of remember that. And I know that's a little harsh, but that's the Headmaster coming out, everyone. Like, right? Do unto others, right? That's something, right? To say it as you would like done unto you. So if you guys really enjoy us sharing out your work, we really like it back. And that's a huge problem going on in our groups because it seems like it's really one-sided. And it's the same 5. And thank you, moderators. It's the same 5 that are sharing it out, but we don't get that back.
I guess what I'm really curious at this point, and I've tried to cover most of the things that intrigue me, but for the next 4 years, what are your hopes? What are your visions? And I know that it's probably taken a lot of turns the first 4 years, but what would you hope for in the next 4 years, and what would you like to see?
Wow. Yeah, I just replying real quick. I know, and I see people in the chat. There's some of you out that are super sharers in the chat right now, and you know who you are, and I know what you guys are all doing now. First of all my mods share out everything, and thank you so much for that, and I appreciate that, guys. And then also, I know a lot of you also are sharing out there, artists supporting artists. That's absolutely right, and thank you so much for that. I do see you. Like I said, you guys might not think I see it, but that's because owning the group, I see exactly who shares what. I see exactly the comments you're saying to other people, and that's awesome. Keep it up. Other artists out there, please spread the wealth. That would be really, really nice. Okay, 4 years from now. First of all, I'm hoping that I'll be here in 4 years still. If Lady Hamilton is looking for jobs currently, that just should tell you that this podcast is in jeopardy. And I'll be real honest about that. I've got to pay the bills, guys. And I really wanted this to be something that was going to be able to be. And I mean, I'm not asking for no $40,000, $60,000 a year, but it's got to be at least self-sustaining. And we have some amazing people that come in, and a lot of you guys subscribe, and that's wonderful. But we need to grow. I mean, because I'm not expecting all of you guys to come in with $100 every single day. I mean, that'd be nice. But, a lot of you can't afford it. So we've got to share the show out. We've got to get it promoted. We've got to do something, I know a lot of you guys share out the promos. A lot of you guys share out the shows. You're free to quote them and invite others. And I see that going on as well, too. But it's got to grow, because if I'm looking for a full-time job, there's only so many full-time jobs I can do, because I'm going to school for my doctorate. I put at least 40 hours a week into the shows and the art group. And if I have got to go work another 50, 60 hours a week to run someplace or be a manager someplace, something's going to go, and most likely it'll be the show. And I don't want that to happen. And I'm praying to God all the time that doesn't happen. So I really need that help that way, with a little bit of support, invitations, getting the word out. I mean, I look at some of these other bigger shows. How do you think they got so big? I mean, some of them have paid sponsors, sure. But some of them started in their, the privacy of their own homes as well. And next thing you know, they got millions of followers. And unfortunately, it kind of takes that to, make this. And I'm not even asking for that. I'm just wanting it to be self-sustaining. And that's something that, instead of burdening my husband with the costs, I need to make sure that I'm sustaining. So, and then, can you imagine how many more friends that I will meet and have on the show in the next 4 years? I love going to events. It's surprising when you go to like these CPACs and Turning Points, all these kind of things, how many artists and people that you meet. They're doing amazing things, whether they're in the community, or they're an artist, or they're a musician, or they're whatever. I love going to events, but that also costs money. But it's a great way to network and meet new people. And then I do a lot of trolling.
It is possible. We see it with other shows, and it is possible. And it could be possible with this. We just need to keep plugging away at it, keep sharing, keep supporting. Is there anything else about your journey?
Hold on. Yes, we could auction. Sorry, Jerry asked if we could auction our work for the channel. I would love to go in a collaboration with that, because I do believe that you need to have some as well too. I will tell you this. I did try an auction one time to raise money for my school. And the reaction, again, and maybe it's a true social thing, but the reaction were like, and people we got it down to like $150 on some pieces, and they were still freaking out. $150. I'm like, the supplies don't even cost that, guys. And so that might not be the place to have an auction. Maybe we have to broadcast it on X and Facebook and more. And that's another thing here too, guys. Because of my availability, I could possibly live stream also on Getter and Facebook. I can live stream up to 10 channels. I'm going to ask you guys, do you think that that's worth it to open up a Getter account, or, go onto Facebook and start broadcasting there as well? It might help the artist for sure, but you guys let me know in the chats what you think about that, and your opinion on that, because I can always branch out, just saying, if you think that is worth it. Now, Frosty, I'm sorry. Will you please,
No, and that was a great idea, the auction. If anybody else has any other ideas, share them.
right? And that would be really awesome to get that up there, and do some kind of like a museum, a mission thing, whether it's a 60-40 split or something like that. I mean, a lot of museums are 30-70 split. Thank you, Hockey. Turning the chat purple, my friend. I love you more than you know. I do. I love you too, sweet girl.
Thanks,
and that's a good idea. We could absolutely, and we could have it like a marathon, like a Jerry Lewis, we'll be like, all right, we're going to run it for the day. And let's see, that might be really fun. If you guys want to do that, let me know who's interested in that. I will be more than happy to work on that with you.
Absolutely.
Jerry says he would donate his paintings. Jerry, you got to get something for it though, sweetheart. It can't be all about me. I just don't work that way. You guys have to get paid for your supplies and your efforts. You guys think Getter and Gab. Can you live stream on Gab? JJ, you would probably know more about that than I would. I'm already on Gab. I just don't know if you can live stream on there. I'll have to check that out, because if you can, I don't know why I'm not.
Right. I have no idea about either. I'm sure.
Right. But that might be something. I mean, the more people that see the show, the better, right?
Right.
Awesome. Questions from you guys, what do you guys have that you have always wanted to ask me, or something about you that maybe I annoy you? Stinking rules, Why am I so mean? Why am I so mean? Why do I hold the block party record? Gab lives not to your knowledge. Thank you, JJ. Okay. Can you go live? Let's see, live on Gab. I'm going to just Google that. You cannot go live on Gab, guys. And I am on Gab. Sorry about that. But I could do Getter. I could do Facebook. I could do LinkedIn. There's just so many other, you guys, some people say Twitch. I don't know. If you think it's worth it, or just keep on strolling with the 3 and 4 right now, let me know. Let's see. Thank you, guys. 4 years. I do. And a lot of you really do take good care of me. Thank you so much for your guys' help. Because, a lot of you, I'm looking at the chats, and most of you guys are subscribers. That pink means you guys subscribe. So thank you so much for that. The rants are amazing. The pills are amazing. And most of all, I love the shares. I do advertise on Gab every day. Hockey, thank you so much. Every show. And JJ is usually there doing that as well with me. So go and give me a follow on Gab, guys. If you don't know, I belong there. I have 2 accounts on Gab. I have 3 on True Social. I have 5 on X. If you guys ever wonder why you get so many shares, well, add it all up. That's probably what. Do you guys even know that?
And there is an artist corner on Facebook, I believe. Right?
Is there?
I thought you created.
I did, but I kind of canceled that. I could do an artist corner on Facebook. Would everybody like that? Let's see. I'm on Facebook right now looking and see. I do not. Under groups, nope. Oh, there is an artist corner. Somebody tried to steal our name. Yep, artist corner. There is one. And it's got 1,900 members. It's a public group. I don't know who owns it. But let's see.
Cass has a question.
Okay, what's the question?
How did you end up traveling to Cuba to study, and did you miss your family?
It was a study abroad with my school. One of my undergrads, I'm a Latin American studies major, and I chose that. So my children are Afro-Latino, and I wanted to learn about their culture and also learn Spanish, which they don't speak. I wanted to teach them that because one of the things I got asked when we adopted them is how am I going to retain their culture being Hispanic, And I was like, oh, I didn't really think about that. And I love Hispanic cultures. I love the Hispanic people, right? So I was in my undergrad and it was they were going to Cuba. It was the first time they ever got to stay in people's homes. Normally they would take them and you would stay at the resorts, right? And they're like, that's not the true Cuba, right? You need to stay with families. And so I was part of the first, I think the last year I was staying with families. But yeah, I mean, I missed my family a lot, especially my husband. And poor guy, he's with the kids, poor guy. Because I really couldn't communicate with them. There was no cell phones, and things like that. There's no internet service. Well, there was. You had to go to certain areas. So every once in a while, I could go and give them a text, and things like that. Saying I'm okay. How are you doing? A mail, forget it, because that's usually stolen. So that was hard. But and I would cry. I mean, the first family they put me with had a little kid about the same age as one of my children. Oh, and I missed my kids. And then they switched us up because one kid was having a major problem, and they wanted to put him with a family issue. And I'm more of the adult. Most of the other kids were like 19, 20. And so I'm like, late 30s at this time. So so they switched this up, and I lucked out because my mommy and poppy didn't have kids. It was just them. My poppy was a chef at the embassy, and it was really cool. And they spoiled the heck out of me. They threw a Father's Day party, made pizzas for everybody, something you couldn't get in Cuba, right? And so, man, it was just awesome. And I got a lot of attention because they don't see a lot of blue-eyed, blonde-haired people there. So my poppy, like a real poppy, he's like, leave her alone, He would guard me like crazy. It was fun. So, but it opened up my eyes to a world that, I'm very grateful that we're part of living in the United States. When you have to bring toilet paper from the United States because they don't have any, when you are looking at coffee and soap and toiletries are priced and they're only getting paid $35. It was very eye-opening for the youth there as well, as they were losing their minds. I mean, one princess bought 4 trunk-sized bags. And like, okay, she thought she was a supermodel, and they almost had to fly her home because she was losing it. But that kind of reality is really good and valuable for us to learn so that we truly understand the freedoms and liberties we have in this country. But yeah, that's how I ended up going there. The professors and the older people were more of my friends than the younger people who were losing it, So, but I had a great time.
Got a follow-up question to that. Were the
Okay.
families vetted and censored by the government?
Yeah, by the school as well too. They had to be approved by the Cuban regime for sure. Sure. Yep.
Salty's got a great question that I
Okay.
actually would like to know myself. Which do you have more of a passion for, cooking your wonderful homemade dishes or creating art?
Now that's funny. So let me tell you a story about my restaurant. So I was in the restaurant business well before all of this for over 27 years. And I had my restaurant for multiple years, even a little bit after September 11th. It still carried on. And when I had to sell that, it was like losing a kid. I still miss that like I had lost a family member. And I still long for those days of having my restaurant. In fact, I mean, my husband's always still trying to find a way for me to get one. My ultimate dream, truly, if I can have my dream, if somebody wins the lottery, I would love to open up a restaurant and put up your guys' artwork all around the restaurant, because that's something I did at the restaurant beforehand, and spotlight you, help you sell your work, and invite all the musicians to come and play live and have events, have art events, music events, hold major events. Literally artist corner inside this little specialty restaurant kind of environment. So I guess I miss and I love the cooking more because it's in my blood. I have been cooking since I was 5 years old. I've been winning awards for my cooking since I was 5 years old. So it was something I was born with. Like a lot of, I always tease Bob about being born with paintbrushes coming out, right? Because he's like, I mean, he's showing work all the time. He's like, this was from like 1968. I'm like, Bob, when were you born with paintbrushes? I
Well, I
was
still
literally,
wonder how many actual paintings he's done. I wonder if he knows.
he says thousands, thousands. So, and then if it doesn't sell, he just paints over the whole work and does another one. You're like, wow. So how many masterpieces are hidden underneath the other ones is another thing. But the ultimate dream, everybody, would be to have some major restaurant that I could put up everybody's artwork and invite my wonderful musicians and have celebrations and festivals and art events. I mean, like literally having a major, exhibition event, inviting people from all around, being in a major city where people could come and join and, and celebrate you guys. Because one thing I loved about my restaurant, I had artwork up there all the time. And then I didn't even ask for commissions. I was like, sell your work, so that would be awesome.
That would be.
You guys like my cooking shows, and so that's a really good thing. I've kind of given up on that because I didn't think you guys like those.
Oh no, I would think everybody likes them. I know I do.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the most expensive show I do.
Right.
You guys, that's hundreds of dollars that I have to put into doing that, and a lot of time it's food we don't eat. So, and it's usually days. So let's say I do a cheesecake. That's definitely a 2-day cheesecake, right? And I mean, I've got to go buy the cream cheese or make it myself. I mean, whatever. That's probably not a good, but the beef and the vegetables and stuff. By the time I'm done with that, that could be, anywhere between $50 to depending at least to create that food. And it's the least viewed show and the least supported show. So I've been giving up, and I was just like, I'll just show you guys YouTube videos because I'm not getting the payback for the time and the money I'm putting into the cooking shows. Just saying, guys. So if you want me to cook again, I need a lot more support going on for that show.
Absolutely. I'm looking. I only have Rumble for questions. So if there are other questions.
Oh, Jerry, go find me on Gab, Lady Hamilton Art. Would you consider opening an art shop? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I would love to be an actual marketer. And then I would make commissions off your guys' work. I would love to open an art gallery and be the Met Gallery. Trust me when I say that collaborating and doing that together, oh my gosh, you guys, my vision for that. But you're talking, I would need $200,000 to do that because that's how much it cost me to open up my first restaurant. And that's why restaurants fail, because of people. And I had my restaurant for almost 17 years. So people assume, oh, I got 10 grand. I'm going to open a restaurant and we're going to be successful. Well, you know what? Until that money kicks in, how are you going to pay your chef? How are you going to pay your staff? How are you going to pay for food? How are you going to pay for electricity? My electricity, and this was back, 90s and early 2000s, was $1,000 a month for my electricity to run the restaurant. And it wasn't even that big. Max capacity was like 250, 75 in the bar. So $200,000 to open up a restaurant, guys. So yeah, GoFundMe. Right. Somebody wants to start a GoFundMe and help me out with that. That would be an awesome idea.
Yeah, it would be. That would be great.
How about cheap, healthy meals? There's no such thing, Cass, as cheap, healthy meals. I don't eat from a grocery store, sweetie. All my food comes from my local people. That's exactly how I eat. So, I mean, I've got to get my meats from my local meat guy. I got to get my vegetables from my local produce people. I go to the dairy to get my stuff because here's the thing about that. If I make cheap, healthy meals, I don't even know what that means, cheap, healthy meals. If you got an idea, let me know. Because it's just going to go in the garbage. My husband and I right now are on carnivore diets. So that food's just going to go where? So now, if you guys aren't ranting and supporting me on a Sunday, and that food just went into the garbage, and it cost me $50 to make, and 2 days of taping, you guys see my point on that? Hopefully I'm making sense. Restaurants are awesome work, though. They may be hard work, but they are awesome. You want a dishwashing job? I'll give you one if you want one.
I volunteered for that one way back. Remember, I applied You were going to open Lady Hamilton's Rowdy
Yep.
Roadhouse. Remember?
Yep.
Suggested.
I would love that. I mean,
And
my husband and I keep bouncing around that idea. It's just that where we live, we're in such a small town, and they don't get the food. No offense to my locals here, guys, but your food sucks. If I have to drive an hour away just to find somebody that can cook the way I like to eat, and I'm just talking fresh, good food, because everything's deep fried and you know, I don't want your chicken livers. I don't want your deep fried whatever. I mean, because I don't eat flour. I don't want your frozen whatevers and you're going to call it fresh. I don't want your meat that's literally so hard it's disgusting. And you go to a restaurant, guys, now it's like what, 40, 50, 60 bucks for a couple of people to go out to eat. I mean, fast food, 2 meals would probably, they're what, around rough, I don't know, but aren't they around like 10 bucks at least each, 20 bucks or more? Are there more than that? They're more than that.
What would be the first thing on the menu?
Okay. Oh, there's so many things. So I'm going to make you guys all real jealous right now. My pastas was a number one thing. And I made those from scratch. So I made everything in my restaurant from scratch. My sauces, my desserts, my pastas, my pizzas, my meatball, everything was from scratch. So that's how I do. So I would start my day at 3 a.m. making all the pastas, the breads, and the pastries. And then I would go on to making all of my sauces and then going on to the prepping for my other things. So, of course, I had to have I had like a pick your own pasta, pick your sauce, pick your thing. So it was kind of like make your own pizzas, but make your own pastas. You could choose the sauce, the meats, the vegetables, and the pasta shape. And it would just kind of a really create your own pasta thing. So that was awesome. I made deep dish Chicago style pizzas. I had amazing steaks, fillets and stuff like that. I had cioppino, which is a seafood stew. I had lasagnas, my homemade manicottis. And then all my pastries, I had cheesecake, tiramisus. I had my own cannolis. I had all from scratch, right? And then you got served bread. I made an olive bread, a sourdough bread, an Italian bread. And this was really awesome. So it's not just one thing. It would be my whole entire menu I would put on there again. Because I know it works. I know it works. What's my favorite food? Prime rib. That's an easy one. Right. Exactly. Now I made you guys all hungry. Oh, that's right. Oh, my funny. That's awesome. Salty. Salty says, my fiance says, Lady Hamilton's restaurant. I'm going to put this up there. I don't know about my gun range, but that sounds funny. Lady Hamilton's restaurant, art gallery, and gun range. Go fund me. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's awesome. Amazing zeal for cooking and art. They go hand in hand. I think that's one of the reasons I love the Artist Corner so much when I say that art in all their forms, because when you say art, a lot of people think painting or drawing, and that's not true. Woodworking, photography, embroidery, cooking, I mean, it's amazing different things. I've seen just unbelievable, things I learned, like to blow sugar into like glass figurines. That's an art, guys. Decorating a plate and getting it, that's an art. The seamstry, that's not the word I'm looking for. Tapestry is another one. Just so many sewing and needlework. There's so many arts out there, and that's what I really, really love about seeing, especially on Truth more than X. We see so much more of a variety on Truth, but that's because we have 700 members now.
And we've been blessed with most of those, pretty much all metalworking, everything.
Right. It is so awesome. We've got a new guy now that does laminated tables, where it's like the pours and the, it's like the
epoxy pours.
Oh my, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. I'm gonna bring on more. Right. It's awesome. Absolutely.
If you know an artist, encourage them to join.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Either or at all. And if you're on the other social medias, if you have an account on Truth and you're not in our group, join. If you don't have an account on X, go get one and join. And I don't know, that something's weird. I put that post out today. I've had 3 new members, but yet the community still says 124 when we should have 127. And I don't know. X in their community thing is weird. But while we're blessed with communities, let's enjoy it.
Exactly.
Don't forget to post your work inside the community or underneath the prompt for the day. so that I can see it and share it out. People eat with their eyes. Oh, yes. So in my restaurant, when you first walked in, I had this tray of the desserts that I would make fresh every day. And then I had a lunch rush and then I'd do dinner and I'd freshen them up at dinner. They were not meant for anybody to eat, but they were real desserts. And so you had this tray of my mile high bread pudding and my tiramisu in a martini glass and my cheesecake and my creme brulees and my cannolis. And you had to walk past that to be seated. Yeah. And then I would walk around the restaurant with a pan of garlic and rosemary that I had sauteed. So the whole restaurant would smell like that. So I would kick up your taste buds before you even got to sit down. Trust me when I say I know how to make you hungry. So you're walking into garlic and rosemary and you're walking past this amazing pastry aisle. Right? It was great. It was awesome. So yeah, food is art. Yum. I know. Hey, if you guys ever want to go into business with me, I'll tell you what, my husband and I are even thinking about moving maybe to a better city or a bigger city, more of a touristy city, I should say, to start something like that. We'll see. We'll see what God has in store for us because girls got to do something. I love you guys, but part of me does miss interacting with real people and being what I call on stage. And there's nothing like cooking, or serving or being out there with the guests and watching their faces light up as they eat something, or being in an art gallery and watching them look at artwork. Whenever I have a show, I never tell them that I'm the artist. I just walk around with people. And that's the best way to get feedback, and see what they like. And I'm just, okay, this one likes this for this reason, or this person felt this emotion. Nothing like that in the world. It's a great, great feeling. And I'd love to do both because I'm telling you, I might have to switch the days, but I'll be like, all right, Tuesday and Wednesdays are art nights because I'm running a restaurant now, and there's no way I'm going to cancel a Friday night. But I'm finding a way, hopefully, in the next 4 years to do it all.
Boy, live podcast from the kitchen, Lady Ham.
Wouldn't that be great? Now that would be worth it for me to cook for you guys. That would absolutely be worth it because I'd be cooking and just taping, right? And I could feed it to a server. I could feed it to one of my cooks. It wouldn't be just me throwing it away, right? I mean, the dogs can only eat so much, everyone. Right? Once a restaurant, always in a restaurant. That's right. If you ever start a restaurant, I'll donate a painting to it. Thank you so much. Awesome. Well, same state? No, different state. We're looking for a different state. It's a little dicey here in Virginia, but we might not go at all. My husband changes his mind all the time because, man has a really good job running the hospital and he gets paid really well for what he does. So I have to thank God, seriously. Thank God. I'm not saying that with slangly. I honestly thank God for that. And another thing I worry about is I've got my food mafia here, right? Right? I know where my local meat guy is. And I know that I know where my local produce is. And they have beautiful greenhouses that are covered. So they're not even getting sprayed on. Where can I find that somewhere else? I do not know. But I would love it. We will see. Nashville's a great place, but really, really expensive to have a business like that. And you've got a few good ones. Doesn't John Rich and Kid Rock have some great restaurants there? Now, maybe if John Rich was to ever come on the show and then want to help me open up a restaurant, that would be great.
And John Rich could do the auctioning of paintings donated from the artists. That'd be great.
Right? Maybe we need to have something. Maybe I should reach out and say, I'd love to have an art auction at your place in Tennessee. Would you be interested? How can we make this work? Maybe we bug them. Guys, who wants to help me bug John Rich in the chats on X? If you guys have an email address or something for me, let me know. I will send a professional letter. Trust me when I say. Frosty has seen how I've written. I can do some amazing professional writing. And I will just give him a business proposal and see what he says. What's the worst he could say? No? I'm already out of no. If you guys know anybody else, that's what Nurse Patrick says. Just open up a little coffee shop. That's what Nurse Patrick says. I'm like, okay, I might have to do that. Right, feed it to the veterans. Oh, that's another thing I did too, guys, at my restaurant. We closed down between 2 and 4. And I would always what we call family meal. And so I always made fresh pasta every day. So the pasta that was from the night before, I would save and we would make some kind of family meal. And I would feed all of my staff and their families and whoever wanted to come in at that time until the food was gone. I mean, I'd just do trays of it from the leftover pastas or whatever we were going to throw out. And we called it family meal. So you could come into the restaurant between 2 and 4 with some a worker or something like a veteran, somebody like that could come in and I would feed you for free. So I love that. Love that idea. I saw that in the comments. You guys know you'll be your bar manager. See, I already have the employees, guys. We just need to get the capital and get going. That would be awesome. Maybe you could help the farmers in your area. That would be awesome. What a great way to get in with John Rich. Right? That's awesome. What other questions do you guys have for me? Anything? Frosty, what you got going on?
If there's anything that we haven't touched on or anything you'd like to share with your listeners that we haven't covered.
No, this is really fun. Continue, guys, being the light. Continue to support each other up because, doing that, supporting each other up lifts you up as well, too. It really does. The attitude of gratitude. We were talking about this. Remember, Frosty, the other day, we were talking about, and this preacher was talking about how ingratitude, the sign of the revelations, a sign of the end is ingratitude. And they were seeing this spread all over the world like a plague. And that's what that minister was talking about. Let's not do that, guys. Let's not rush that in. I don't care if it's only the 700 of us or the how many followers do I have here on Rumble, 675, whatever it might be. We can do it together. That's a huge number. We start out with what? 1, 2, 3, 35. Now we're in the hundreds. That's a huge amount of people that can share positivity and lift each other up. That's what great leadership is to lift everybody up with you versus just saying, I run everything. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. No, that's not how it works. We just take the Savior's word, love one another. And then by doing that, I would say that's probably the most important thing to me is shine the light on other people too. And that will come back to you tenfold.
Absolutely. Right.
I should run for Congress. I have been thinking about that one too, but I don't want to go to DC. That's only a bad part. It's like I'm already getting tempted enough. I don't want to go sit there and live in the devil's playground, I mean, think about how many people start off good and turned into a nightmare. I mean, I've actually met so many Congress people, and I'm not going to name names, but when they first started and they were grassroots and they were full of light and positivity, and next thing you know, you're like, I don't even recognize you. What happened to you? Like you turned to the dark side. They got lobbied. They made that deal with the devil. Like Bernie said, he goes, I'm not taking any money from any groups right now because I know that there's a deal that I'm going to have to make that I'm not comfortable with. And so everybody pray for Bernie because if he's not going to take the devil's money, it's going to be a really big battle for him. And that's one of the reasons. I mean, I would be great at Congress, but then on the other hand, would they kill me because I don't go along? What happened? What was his name? Madison Cawthorn? He got ostracized like crazy because he went against the narrative, right? And next thing you know, you're out.
Yeah.
You're out. That's right. Lead by example.
Salty wants to know if there's anything new on your easel.
On my easel, yes. Yes, there is. Everybody loves celestial sailing so much that I'm making a different version of it. It's not going to look just like it, but it's going to be the same style with the planet moon and the mountains and the lake. And all I've got left to do is my little forest and my little sailboat. And it went over so well that I wanted to do another one. It's a little bit bigger. It's not an 8x10. It is, what is it? Like an 18x24, I think is what it is. Because you guys, that would about killed me. But I am working on that right now. And then after that one, I did really want to do an abstract. I saw something and I got permission from Jean de Lunas with his fractal art. It just really, really appealed to me. And I said, hey, do you mind if I do some version of this? And I think he thinks it's going to turn out just like it. And that's not how I work. I get inspired by work, and it might resemble it. And I'll still give him the kudos for the inspiration, because he asked if I would give him credit, and absolutely I'll give him credit. But it's a really cool looking abstract, and I loved it from the first moment I saw it. So that's going to be the next one up after I finish this next Celestial Sailing #2.
Nice.
Right? I mean, it's so popular. I had no idea that was going to be so popular. And it is. It's probably one of my most popular pieces. So maybe that's going to be
booked for the show soon.
Huh?
Isn't he booked for the show soon?
He said yes, but he didn't commit to a date. So go bug him. Go bug him. I think people, when I ask, hey, I have openings in September, I think in their mind, they think I can wait. Oh, that's September. That's a far way away. Well, I said that about August, and I have no more openings in August, everyone. I had one, and it's gone. And now I already have 3 in September. And I'm not trying to say that I'm all the greatest. I'm not. But people are coming back. People are excited that I want to promote them, and it's free marketing. So how can you say no to free marketing, right? Even if one person buys your work, or one person, all of a sudden a whole bunch of people see it and share it out. I mean, Jerry's show last night, oh my gosh, the numbers are getting great. Usually I do better for my Thursday and Monday shows, but yesterday we almost had 500 views just for Jerry's show.
Nice.
So, right. That's awesome. Thank you guys. That's really, really helping me. And that's because you guys are sharing and you're sending the word. And that's why I say I have the best viewers in the whole world, because I know you guys are doing it. I just have to be patient. I know it will come. But yeah, people are, we got Fred coming back. We've got Matt coming back. Jerry's coming back, right. Right. We got a lot of people that are returning. We got musicians coming back. Keith is coming back. Who's my other one? Kevin Winnard's coming back. And they had so much fun. So this is going to be real exciting. I know that My Troubled Days is working on something new, and I don't know when they're coming back. But if you guys want to get on the books for September, please don't brush it off like that's a long ways away. Get on the books. I'm trying to get Aromem. Thank you. I'm trying to get Aromem on, or Aromem, whatever you guys want to call it, for my birthday. My birthday is September 27th. It's a Sunday. Wouldn't that be awesome to have another live concert on my birthday? Yeah. Oh my gosh. That would be so awesome. And perfect for a Sunday. They're a wonderful group. Okay. Can't stay but wanted to drop it. Hey, knock my socks off. Thank you guys so much. So much. All right, my friend. I guess we can close up. I don't know if anybody's got any more. I'm not seeing any more comments on any channels. So thank you guys so much.
Yes. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. Hopefully I did okay.
Oh, you do great. I think you do really wonderful. I'm so thankful you come on. It just makes it so much. And everybody gets excited to see you. So excited to see you. All right, everyone. Frosty will probably join you in the chats. Please give him some love for doing such a wonderful job. Again, he's a really special friend. I consider him my brother. Love him with all my heart. And guys, make sure you tell him in the chats how wonderful he is as well too. And thank you, Frosty. I appreciate it, and I love you, my friend. You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Isn't he awesome? He's just absolutely awesome. I am so glad. That was a lot of fun. I hope I answered all your questions. If you guys have more, throw them in the chats, as I'm still here, right? As I'm still here. Yes, he did do a great job. All right, I'm going to grab your guys' chats over here. JJ was here. JJ was here. I don't know where he went. He might be working. But yes, JJ has been with me since the start as well, since episode 16. That man has also helped promote me and bring so many of you guys to me. And that is really, truly because of JJ. Guys, give him a huge shout out as well. He is an amazing friend and the owner of Celestial Sailing. That's how much I love him. You guys, he has been with me through thick and thin, through nobody to multiple people. He has done so many videos. A lot of the videos that we share are because of JJ. And I absolutely love him. He has absolutely stuck with me for 4 years. So you guys give some love to him as well, because I'll tell you what, a lot of you wouldn't even know who I am without him. Love him. Love him like crazy. Amazing. All right, guys. What a great night. I don't know where. Oh, you're trying to put up memes. Okay. All right. Don't forget to hit the like, follow, and share. Tomorrow's movie night. I figure we would watch the ending of Atlas Shrugged. We watched Atlas Shrugged 1, Atlas Shrugged 2, and now we need to watch the conclusion of Atlas Shrugged number 3. So please come and join me tomorrow for Sunday Reset. It's going to be movie night. Make sure you bring your sodas, your coffees, your drinks, your popcorns, whatever you do. Come and sit back and relax with us as we have movie night tomorrow on Sunday Reset and finish our trilogy finally. Won't that be exciting? Just to sit back. Oh, you're... Oh, JJ, you are the best. I tell him that. He is the best. Has been with me truly, like I said, since, what does he say? Episode 16. Isn't that crazy? Hold on real fast, and we'll show you that before we leave here tonight. You guys want to see episode 1? Let's see if we can find that. That's funny. Somewhere on here. That would be hilarious. I haven't seen that forever. Let's see if we can find episode 1 and find out the date for that. That's crazy. I hope that they're doing well. There's episode 2. I don't know where episode 1 is, but I found episode 2. Wow. All right. Wow. Crazy. There we go.
The Chris Salcedo show. And even though it may have been brief, I got asked a few questions, about CRT and in our schools. What does this mean? How do we fight this or get this out? But basically, what does that even mean? And so we're going to talk about a few things that are in our public education that parents may not be equipped to even ask their principals or superintendents or even teachers about. And what does this actually look like in our schools? So before we really dive into this, let me tell you one thing I do know is they're really great about changing names. And I was at the national conference.
I agree with her. I've been talking about our children since episode number 2. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's funny. And I didn't seem too scared. I don't think I was nervous, just kind of talking to myself, but I really want to talk about our education, especially with Hamilton Liberty Academy running. And boy, the changes, right? It's an older Lady H. You don't recognize her. That's so funny. There you guys go. Amazing. All right, let's give some love to these wonderful people. You guys, so the show, I'll be putting the promotion out right after this show. You guys can give me a follow. You guys can follow me on X at Lady Hamilton AR1. You can also follow me on Pilled, Truth, and Gabbed at Lady Hamilton Art. You can also follow me on Facebook, Lady Hamilton Art, and maybe soon to be Getter. You guys let me know what you think about that. Let's give some love to this team. Absolutely amazing, and just been with me for so long. Thank you so much. All right, to team Lady Hamilton moderators, you truly are the best. Thank you for being with me since the beginning. Thank you for sticking with me through all these years. Thank you for promoting. Thank you for being in the chats. And thank you for all that you do for me. I have the best viewers, the best mods a girl could ever want. Well, you guys, I told you I was so excited about Keith coming back in September. We're going to be listening to one of his songs again today. Just think it's awesome. And so it's awesome. And this is a perfect song because it's called Lady in My Life. I love the title. Of course, I'm going to pick that, Lady in My Life. So you guys, please do me a favor. Don't forget to hit those buttons. Let's jam out. And thank you, Keith, for letting me play your music. I am excited to see you in September, and we're going to jam out to this song, guys, titled Lady in My Life. Everybody have a great night. Don't forget, to share, to love one another, to share out each other's works, each other's, stuff. Let's all lift each other up and be part of an amazing celebration of art, community, and love. And thank you for your questions. Thank you, Frosty, for your interview. And thank you guys for all that you do for me. I love you with all of my heart. I'm so blessed by each and every one of you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Everybody have a great night. And most of all, don't forget to be the light. I'll see you all tomorrow.